Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, the beauteous Beatrice.
That's me.
We are here to talk Sister Wives Hoodie. We are currently in season 6, going through the archives and the Mormon records. We're in the temple looking at all the names on all the lists to see what's happening. And we're having a good time doing so because, as you know, everyone has moved into the cul-de-sac. The children have reintegrated and are strengthening their family bonds. However, the wives are having a bit of a problem in that regard.
They're struggling.
They don't seem to like each other very much. I don't know what's happening. I do have some suspicions.
Yeah.
For example, I think Cody is already spending all of his time at Robin's.
Totally.
And now all the other wives can see it firsthand with their own eyeballs. And so there are some problems with the Browns.
It's juicy.
Now, before we get into this episode, we do have to issue you a disclaimer. Please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect comedy podcast.
Yeah.
We are insufferably stupid.
Yeah.
We have dumb opinions. We say dumb things. And so if you're
Go cry in the corner. Bye.
You might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you're ready to go to Browntown, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We are continuing our coverage of season 2 of The Valley over there.
My God.
It is crazy.
It's so much fun. By the way, did you see that just today, Kristen Doty made an Instagram post in which she showed a clip from tonight's episode of The Valley,
Girl.
where she calls out Brittany Cartwright for being a terrible friend and constantly defending Janet while not doing the same for Kristen and for Zach. And Kristen's like, what is up with that? Finally.
I
I'm just
love
like,
that.
Thank you for saying the thing that I needed
it.
you to say.
For real.
So this season is really good. It's very dark. It's kind of toxic, but we have a lot of fun in the trash.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get into it, definitely check us out on Patreon.
Yeah.
Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe, because truly every single thing you do helps us to scale the mountain to 6,000 subscribers. We're very far away. We're still at base camp 2, but the Sherpas are coming. They're going to help us get there. But you're the Sherpas. You need to help us get there.
Please and thanks.
Thank you in advance. Now, also, we do want to let you know we're going to have an after show for this episode. Now, an after show is for the VIP Patreon raccoons only. And we only have after shows when we have some additional things to talk about. And tonight, let me tell you something now. We've got some things to talk about concerning Welcome to Plathville.
Oh my God, drama.
What's going on with that? Also, apparently there was somebody who asked Meri Brown a question live on Instagram about Cody and his punk ass, and she answered, but did she actually say anything? Well, we're going to get into it in the after show. And also there was a comment left by somebody, not for our video, but somebody left a comment in Mormon land about what happens when 2 young men go on their first mission. Just going to give you a little hint for those who are watching. It's a sexical thing that tends to happen. So we're going to read the comment and we're going to get into all of that. And if you want to be a part of the after show, again, make sure you join us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into our recap, Beatrice, I must ask you, what is your primary takeaway? I already know. Listen, I already know what you're going to say, but what is your takeaway from this episode?
Cody and Britt are giving me hardcore Brokeback Mountain, gay, homosexual,
steamy
lover, sexual relation vibes.
Okay.
Like hardcore. Like they probably had like a bromance.
Well, they went on a mission together.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I got the same vibe as you. I was getting a lot of homoeroticism.
Giving gay.
I was remembering, I think, season 1 when Cody and the fam go back to his hometown and all of his high school friends are like, I swear to God, I thought he was flamboyantly gay.
Gay.
And I also thought he was, and I still think he's not flamboyantly gay, but I think he's gay. I think he's a little gay.
Gay.
And so we got this guy coming into town just rolling up with his wife. And I'm just like, Monocle, something sexual is going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Same takeaway. I had the same takeaway.
I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
Yes. So without further ado, let's get into the recap. We are on season 6, episode 13, entitled
Boys Night Out.
Oh, it's going to be a hot boys night out. We're going to have a lot of fun wrestling and stuff with our bodies and everything. Can't wait.
Love it.
Take it away, Beatrice.
Well, we start off the episode with kind of like a stupid segment at the beginning where we're going to tour different venues.
Oh, yeah.
For their dumb recommitment ceremony.
Bored. Truly bored.
And like Christine's freaking out because it's kind of expensive.
$10,000? $10,000? Does that include cake?
No.
Oh, it does not.
It doesn't. To get married, or not to get married, but to have a recommitment ceremony at a facility that also hosts gay marriages and gay ceremonies.
Interestingly, they did say that. Yeah. Did you notice that Cody was talking about how this was his party?
Yep.
And because it was a party for him, he was willing to spend all the money, but if it was a party for anybody else, then he wouldn't be willing to open up his wallet.
Yeah, because he said something like, it's my image at stake or something, like, this is for me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. We're already starting with that in season 6. It kind of like, what's the term for when you're disillusioned? I guess that's the term.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of like...
That would be it.
Kind of just like, man, I thought Cody was like a better guy in the earlier seasons, and now I'm like, we're watching him back, and I'm like, oh, he's always been a piece of shit.
Well, he's a highly insecure person because just in this episode alone, we've got him referring to himself as an alpha male, as like the consummate leader of a family when he's nothing of the sort.
It was crazy.
Like he's just constantly puffing himself up to make himself look like a manly provider, where the reality is that that's not what he is, and maybe that's why he's insecure. Plus, he's gay. He's gay. And he's in a cult. And he can't just come out and say, I'm gay.
I'm gay.
So I'm instead going to marry 4 women and have a mess of kids so that nobody would even suspect that I'm gay.
Exactly.
Not knowing that at some point in the future, 2 robust raccoons are going to roll onto the scene. And we're going to see in 2.2 seconds, that man is gay.
Oh, 100%.
That's a gay man.
100%.
I'm looking at a gay man.
That is a big old gay man.
I'm sorry, I'm going crazy. And you know I love my gay men. I love my gay women. I love the gays. I love gay people.
I love gay people too.
And if Cody is gay, I think we should hashtag free Cody Brown.
Totally.
I want him to live his whole gay experience. What I don't want him to do is implode in on himself and become a hateful person who takes it out on women and children, which unfortunately is the way that it went.
That's what he's doing. But like, just imagine a world where like Robin ended up his favorite wife just because she pegs him.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how he gets his fixin', you know what I mean?
Yeah, like he can truly be himself with Robin playing the role of a top.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Cody Brown like on a pride float in a Speedo? Just,
dude,
I can.
I totally
all
could.
Baby oiled up and everything just gyrating.
Are
I
you
can
kidding
see
me?
that so easily.
Me too.
Yep.
100%.
I want that for him so much. I want that for us.
I want that for us too.
Yeah, very much.
And then we get on to the wrestling mats, and we have Cody's BFF Brett and his wife Ava coming to visit. And I guess Brett and Cody were BFFs back in college. They went on a Mormon mission together, and they formed what Cody called a cosmic bromance or a cosmic brotherhood or something.
Bow chicka bow bow.
And it's been a few years since they've seen each other, but he's coming to visit and coming to see how they're doing in Vegas, and he's also going to help them install wrestling mats for Hunter at Janelle's house, with also Janelle's personal trainer who's just there for the TLC paycheck.
Yeah, why is Sean here?
Like, we don't need you
Who's
here.
Brett? We've never met Brett. It's season 6. I think the reality is that Cody doesn't actually have male friends.
Yeah, who would want to be friends with him?
And so like there's this empty space inside of him that only a man with a penis can fill. And so like anytime any man is willing to roll up into Vegas and pretend to be his bro, like he's down.
Excited.
He's like, oh, I'm going to get wrestling mats.
Yep.
This is going to be so good. We're going to produce
so
content. And then you and me, we can put our shorts on.
Yeah,
we can
together.
wrestle together down on those mats. It's going to be great.
Ooh. And so they go to Janelle's house with the wrestling mats, and Janelle's like, I need to be able to use my garage though. I don't want these fucking fuck shit mats crowding up my garage.
Right.
This
I've
is
got
my
like
garage.
boxes. I have things in my garage.
I have a million kids.
Like a normal garage
Yep.
would have things in it and stuff.
Yep. So she's pissed, and Christine kind of offers up her garage because it's clean. She cleaned it out specifically for Cody.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted Cody to have space in the garage that he hasn't utilized yet. And so she offers up her garage to have the mats installed there. But in order to do that, she has to negotiate with Cody privately without their mics.
Right. Well, she asks him if they can have a private discussion, and Cody's like, oh, you're going to try and blackmail me.
Yeah.
So in order for me to put these mats into your garage, I'm going to have to give you something. And then we see them go off to the side somewhere. And I'm trying to remember what Christine negotiates for. More time.
Well, this is all according to Cody. Cody
Right.
says that she negotiated for him spending more time at her house, more grocery money, and for him to be a better husband.
Okay, but can we just talk about the grocery money part?
Yeah.
Because I was like, what do you mean more grocery money? We are on season 6. You are all living in McMansions. My suspicion is that each wife gets the same amount for groceries. And Christine has what, 5 or 6 kids? I can never.
6, I think.
It's 5 or 6 kids. So she's got 6 kids. Is she getting the same amount for groceries as Meri is getting for groceries? Like she's in this moment negotiating so that she can feed her children.
Yeah.
Which Cody is calling blackmail.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I had to make a deal with her to install these mats into the garage. And I'm like, dude, just give her some more money.
She's literally just asking for you to be a good husband and kind of be around from time to time.
Yeah. And like, if that's the case, if every wife is getting the same grocery money and like Meri is getting more, for example, even though she only has one child to feed, that's crazy. But also like, is she starting to siphon some of the money over? Because she's got her fake nails. She's got all these little jewelry on. She's got her little blazers. I'm like, you're looking awfully nice.
Yeah, she's starting to bling bling out in season 6. They're starting to actually work with real money. They're manifesting. They're becoming the architects of their lives.
Yeah.
But for somebody like Meri, she's getting the equal amount of resources so she can stockpile her money. She can pay for Leon's tuition. She can pay and should pay for Leon's car as opposed to going to the rest of the family like she did in the last episode.
Right.
Asking for them to pay for Leon's pricey private tuition. Like, no, you're getting the same amount of money, then save it then.
Right, exactly. It's not really fair for everybody else to have to fork up more of their money when Janelle and Christine are seemingly scraping by while everyone else is just like living their life and doing their thing. It's kind of crazy that she had to even negotiate that with Cody to begin with. But nevertheless, they come to some kind of agreement and she installs the mats at her house.
At Christine's house, yep.
And then when they have the mats installed, this is where Cody
My God.
and Brett change into their little shorts.
Yes, they did,
And
honey.
they wrestle.
They wrestled there on those mats and
Get all sweaty.
yes,
Get all
and
close to each other.
ass in face.
Ass in face. 69,
crotch
really.
in face. And everybody's just standing around
watching
laughing
them.
uncomfortably, watching
Cody's
Cody
aroused.
being a peacock with this guy, Pred. It was just cringe-tastic.
It was so cringe. And this is where we hear more of their backstory. So when they went and served their Mormon mission together, after they engaged in a lot of gay sex.
Allegedly. In our opinion only.
This is the vibes I'm getting, okay?
Yeah.
After their Mormon mission, this is where they started to split off into 2 paths. This is how Brett describes it. Because I guess Brett was like having a crisis of faith because he's gay. And he decided to leave the Mormon church or like kind of distance himself from the Mormon church. Whereas Cody went the complete opposite direction and became more fundamentalist, joined his polygamous church because he wanted to please his daddy. And their friendship kind of, I guess, broke
fractured.
off.
Well, they ultimately end up having an antagonistic argument about Joseph Smith. And apparently it was bad. And so they broke off at that point and then didn't speak for 5 years.
Yeah.
So presumably at some point, Brett rotates back into his life. I'm not sure how.
I can't quit you.
Or why. But like, yeah, so they've been peripheral in each other's lives since then. But yeah, so it doesn't seem like Brett is religious at all. In fact, he just believes in God, and that's the only thing that he has in common in
Yeah.
terms of faith with Cody is that they both believe in a God, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And so now that they're back in each other's lives, like Cody invited Brett to his wedding.
Reunited, it feels so good.
He invited him to his wedding with Robin, and Brett showed up, and then he like left early. And this is where Cody recounts it, and he's like, he starts crying. It's crazy. He starts
So
crying.
weird, dude.
And he's like, that was the only time that I felt so lonely.
When Brett left the reception he showed up for the wedding, stayed for the reception, but he had to leave kind of in the middle of it. And this is where Cody's like, I really felt that. Watching him walk out the door was the first time I had felt lonely.
Which is crazy.
What's happening right now?
I'm like, you're marrying your favorite wife.
Right. There's 100 people here at this reception, but this one guy is leaving and now you're feeling lonely. And that was a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You're recounting it and you're crying while you're talking about it.
Homosexual love, girl.
Yes, is real.
It's real.
Absolutely. Well,
love
you know
is
that.
love.
Love is love. Absolutely. One love. Yeah. One love.
But like, I'm just watching that. I'm like, I know a gay man when I see it.
Sure. That's a man in love.
Totally.
Heart activated. E.T. phone motherfucking home.
I mean, look, to be real,
yeah,
Brett's kind of handsome, no?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess.
For a gay guy?
Yeah, for a a generic, nondescript Caucasian person. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's certainly better looking comparatively than, say, Cody.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I could see how Cody would have a crush on him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But anyway, Brett starts talking about polygamy and how he doesn't envy Cody at all. And actually, he's worried about him. Yeah. He's worried about how he has to manage all of these women and all these marriages. And it kind of felt to me like Brett was trying to pick up on the fact that like the wives were not happy.
Yes.
But it kind of seemed like the way it was edited that he was like repping for Cody more.
Yeah, like he's talking about having seen Cody running around and being super busy and like constantly taking care of all these different kids and wives and homes, and that there was like underlying tension in the family. Like, so I felt like he was trying to call that out.
Yeah.
He didn't really know what was going on maybe, but he was trying to alert us. And then later in this episode, we get his wife, Ava, who also has some opinions on the matter. So apparently though, when Brett and Ava go to visit in this episode, they both feel like something is amiss, something is wrong in the family with the wives and Cody.
Which is crazy because they're trying to portray like they're fine. I mean, not really. Like Christine says that she's sad and everything. Like it's obvious, but they are trying to like keep it together. But like you have these friends coming into town and they're like, Damn, this shit's
what's going on
tense.
over here? Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And so then everybody kind of breaks off because after Cody and Brett finish wrestling, they go and take a shower together.
Well, Cody does say, let's go get a shower.
I mean.
And I had to wonder to myself, together?
I know.
Separately? Whose house? Cameras?
I was thinking, I'm like, can the cameras follow that?
Can I see?
So great.
I'd like to see. Can I see?
See it?
I want to see.
Anyway, they go shower together, and then the guys go and do their thing, and then the girls do their own thing. And so all of the wives end up taking a trip to
some zoo or something like that.
Well,
this is where we learn that Robin unequivocally does not like animals.
Evil.
And I don't get it.
I don't get
it. And
I
don't understand. Like I do understand somebody saying, like, you know what, animals are great. Of course, animals are beautiful. I just don't want to live with animals. I don't have like a life that can support that nonsense for me. Same as somebody saying, like, children are children, babies are great, but I don't want any babies. And that's completely valid.
Sure.
But like Robin just coming out of the gate and saying, like, yeah, I don't like animals. They poop and they pee and I'm not into it.
And then she's like at the zoo and she's like giving stank face to every animal. Like she's like not even petting them. Mm-mm. She thinks they're all disgusting. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, wow, you're kind of a bitch.
Well, I mean, like, didn't your own children poop and pee? Like, what did you? Oh, you got a nanny. That's right.
Right. You didn't have to deal with it.
Exactly. You just got yourself a nanny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Robin's like freaking out by all of the animals touching her because how dare these animals
exist
touch a queen like Robin.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, you have Meri just having a snake necklace, just walking around.
little
hanging out.
Truly, like
Yeah.
holding Truly, and Truly's petting the snake, holding Christine.
Not giving
And
a
both
fuck.
Meri and Christine are petting the snake. And then Janelle goes up to a camel and shares a carrot right out of her mouth. And all of the kids are doing it. Everybody's having a great time except for Robin, who's hanging back and just judging everybody because she doesn't like animals. I'm sorry. Something is wrong with you if like you don't like the entire animal kingdom.
Agreed.
I can understand if you say, you know, I don't like cats. Like,
sure.
Me and cats don't get along. But you don't like animals?
Not a single animal?
Who doesn't like animals?
I know. I'm like, there's got to be an animal you think is cute.
She's a demon. I told you
She's
that.
100% a demon. Well, and you've seen the footage of her with the dog, right?
Kicking Mary's dog.
Yes. She's evil.
Yeah.
So fuck Robin.
Did not hesitate to kick a dog.
No.
Didn't even think about it. Probably didn't even realize she kicked a dog.
No, not at all. And then we have Ava, Brett's wife, having a little commentary to herself to the camera saying that, you know, it's interesting observing the wives and observing their polygamous family because they're everything that they portray themselves to be. Although you do feel some tension sometimes every now and then, but like, they seem to love each other.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was wondering what tension she was referring to, but when we get to the picnic portion of the women's day out, and we kind of get to Meri, and we're asking Meri directly, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Like, Meri is not happy in her life right now.
Not happy at all.
And we also have Janelle saying something like, like we used to meet for dinner 2 to 3 times a week, and we really haven't done that since Robin came.
Yep.
That's she didn't say that. Right. We really haven't done that in a while. Maybe we should get back to that. And then Robin says something like, well, you know, Janelle and Christine and we hang out together, but like Meri, we don't really see you a lot. And that's probably because we have kids and you don't, because you're infertile and you're not really a woman. And that's why Cody doesn't love you. Because, of course, Robin brings up Meri's infertility or issues conceiving or whatever. Anytime Robin can bring that up, she does.
Oh, yeah.
And she does it right here at the picnic.
I know. It's like constant. It's so hurtful. And of course, like Meri, she doesn't really get emotional at the picnic per se. She gets
clams
emotional.
up, though.
She does. She clams up, walls up.
Yeah, immediately.
Because she can't talk about vulnerability at all. And it was just like really weird. Like, I think Robin was the one that pointed out too that Meri tends to withdraw from the family, like when she's like not feeling well or like she's going through a tough time. And I think she was like trying to pry that out of Meri, but Meri, again, walls up, can't do it. And then Christine says something like, well, maybe we should have like more spontaneous times to hang out. Like maybe we should just not really plan it. Like let's just make a conscious effort to hang out with each other, even if it's spontaneous. And Robin and Meri laugh at her. And I'm like, Christine's genuinely just trying to co-sign what Janelle's saying and say, like, we should hang out together. We should have more time together.
And Meri even says something like, I kind of just prefer to hang out in my house and work on my projects and do the things that interest me. Like, Meri is not interested in having friendships with these women. And Robin acting like she's somehow closer to Christine and Janelle versus Meri is a lie.
So
she doesn't hang out with any of these women. Now, is this the part where we get the women on the couch and Christine says something like, with Cody, you can always tell which wife he's been hanging around when he comes to your house because he talks differently, he acts differently. What did you make of that statement from Christine?
That was crazy. I mean, the fact that she had the balls to say that, like on the couch on TV, like you could tell that caught Cody and Robin off guard because they both looked at each other like very like suspicious. Like, oh my God, they caught us. Like they just thought it was so weird that she pointed it out. But Janelle co-signed it too.
So did Meri.
Like, I can tell who you've been talking to by some of the things that you say. And Meri says the same thing. And I'm like, oh,
yes.
And
that's the tension.
Yep.
And that's where we're having a disconnect with these women because he is at this point in 2014, I think we are spending way more time with Robin and he's becoming indoctrinated to her way of thinking, being and existing. And so by the time he deigns to spend any time with the other wives, he's mimicking her. He's parroting the same talking points. He's changing as a person.
Yep.
And we have always said like, Cody might be the head of the family, but Robin is the neck and the neck turns the head.
Exactly.
And so he's changing and the women are noticing it. And that is causing this underlying rift between everybody.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can already feel it. And like, I think the wives are trying to get together more just because they're all lonely. Like, I think that's the reason. I think they also have Cody in their ear telling them like they have to be better sister wives and they have to be more together as a family because in Sedona, you guys hate each other. And like, if I die, the family's not going to be around. Like, I think that they're trying really hard to be a family, to try and be friends with everybody. But they can't be because Robin doesn't like any of them. I don't think Meri likes any of them.
I don't think Meri does. I don't think Janelle really does either. Although Janelle just seems more laid back and able to assimilate into different things. Yeah. Like she's not going to be any problem. Yeah. But I do think it's a problem for Robin interacting with these other women. Yep. And I do think it's a problem for Meri because Meri doesn't trust these other women. And, you know, like even though her walls are going up in this picnic scene, like in her defense, I can see why, because she's on camera. Yep. And she knows this conversation is performative. She knows as soon as the camera is shut down, like they're going to go back to doing the exact same thing that they've been doing, that nobody really cares about her, that Cody hasn't been sharing her home and her space for probably a year or more at this point. Yep. So she knows this is all fake. And so she's not going to be vulnerable in front of these women because they don't truly care. No. Now, what I thought was interesting, though, is that while these conversations are going on, like Ava is there. Like, it actually begins with Ava bringing up polygamy and her expectations of this family because she's like, I honestly thought that Cody was going to be a perv. Like when Brett told me that y'all were polygamous, I was sincerely grossed out. Like, ew, how could anybody live like this? And this guy must be a perv, which is so offensive.
So
like,
unbelievably
who just
offensive.
Comes out and says that. And I was looking at the faces of the wives. Like, they don't know who she is. Like, they're just filming something with this rando woman that Brett brought with him. Yep. And like, she's calling them out for like thinking they had a degenerate lifestyle. And they did not like that at all. And I don't blame them.
No, of course not. And then she also starts grilling them about like Cody and him not showing PDA and affection to all of the wives. And she's like, so I've noticed something. When he's around all four of you, he doesn't show any kind of affection. Why is that? And I'm like, girl,
like, wow.
You don't even know these people. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, did the TLC producers put you up to this? This is nuts. But like the women just give their same old spiel of like, well, but like, you know, we don't want to just thrown in our face. Like Meri says that. Like, we know that he's fucking everybody else. I mean, mainly Robin. But like, we just don't want to be shown that because it'll make us feel bad or whatever.
I think it was Christine who says, though, that it was Cody's idea that they not show public displays of affection. Whereas we were told that he was affectionate with Meri, and then it was Janelle's mom, Cheryl, who came along and said, like, this is upsetting to Janelle, so don't do this. So I'm just like, it's very interesting to see where the lore comes from.
Oh, yeah. It's like, who is telling the truth?
Right. Nobody.
Nobody. We don't know what's true or what's real because they keep changing the fucking script every few years. It's so annoying. Yep. And then Ava says, I think to the camera, like, I don't understand why they can't show PDA. Like, they know he's sleeping with all of them. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, you're in a monogamous relationship and you're sitting out here commenting on somebody in an alternative lifestyle. You have no lived experience in this lifestyle. And it's just like, kind of condescending for you to have an opinion at all. They invited you into their space. They're sharing this time with you. And the least you could be is just nice about it. Yeah. As opposed to like looking for all the things that could be wrong.
Right. And analyzing their family.
I didn't like her. I didn't really like Brett either.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Maybe we will.
Yeah. And then after we have this conversation at the picnic, then we have the conversation on the couch with all the wives. And this is where Meri talks about becoming an empty nester because Leon's going to college and
I'm snoring.
You know, Meri gets really emotional here, and this is where she starts crying because she doesn't know like what her role is going to be in life, what her role is going to be in the family because she's the only one with one child. And then she talks about how Cody doesn't understand her experience because he's not actually going to be an empty nester. It's just Meri. And I think like all of the subtext here is that she's lonely AF. And nobody seems to care. Like, she's literally crying on the couch, and all of the wives have stank faces. Like, Janelle's not looking at her.
Right.
Christine's kind of engaging, but, like, also isn't sympathetic or saying anything.
Not reaching out and just saying, oh, I totally understand.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know how you feel necessarily, but I totally understand that you're feeling emotional. I'm here for you. Like, nobody reaches out to support Meri in that moment.
Not at all. And, like, Meri even starts thanking Christine and Janelle for being there for her while they were all raising all of the kids, not just Leon, but like she thanks Janelle and Christine for even all of the tough years and everything. Like, I'm glad that you guys were there and I really appreciate it. And then she cries to Robin and is like, I'm really sorry that you weren't there. And like, nobody's saying anything. Nobody's consoling her.
It's very awkward.
And like, Meri is being so vulnerable
Trying
here.
to be.
And nobody's saying anything. It's like kind of wild to me. I felt bad for Meri in this moment, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we've just been having this conversation for quite some time, like with Meri trying to decide whether she was going to use Robin as a surrogate or do IVF or whatever. Like, that was for 3 seasons, and she's been trying to wrestle with what her position and her place is in this family. And like, that's only ever as deep as we go. Like, we never really talk about the other things and the family dynamics, which might be lending themselves to her feeling lonely, because even on the couch, none of these wives reach out to her. None of these wives try to comfort her. So truly she is alone.
Yeah.
And that's sad, but like, do something a little different, a little bit more information. Like, why aren't you talking to your sister wives? Like, why doesn't Cody come over? Like, tell us what's actually happening in your home, because if you're so abjectly lonely, it's because something else is going on that you're not sharing.
Exactly.
That's what's frustrating to me.
100%. It's like, you probably wouldn't have had such an issue with being an empty nester if you had a healthy relationship with just one adult in the family.
Yes.
Like, nobody likes you. Not even your husband. Not even the older kids, really.
Well, and I'm wondering how involved Leon has been with Meri in terms of a relationship. It might have only ever just been Leon that was Meri's friend.
Yep.
Or that was there to talk with Meri about Meri's issues. And I don't know that Leon was parentified like Logan was and Aspen was, but maybe Leon was. And so now Meri's going to lose the one person that she's had at her side the entire time. Like, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
But Meri's not sharing at that level. So it's hard for me to even connect with what's happening and like why nobody seems to give a crap about Meri.
I know. It's kind of crazy. But doesn't she meet Jen in Las Vegas too? So she'll probably meet Jen soon and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get off of this fucking storyline, because it's like, it is a lot. I agree with you there. And then we jump on over to Guys' Night Out.
Oh my God.
After everybody had their gay orgy.
In the shower.
In the shower.
That we only had to imagine, and it was imagining it. I
was imagining it too.
Yes.
Brett, Cody, and Sean go up to the stratosphere in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And they go up to the tippy top and they go bungee jumping, which looked very fun. I've been on the stratosphere.
Okay. I don't know if I've been up on the stratosphere.
It's fun. I went on the ride where I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you shoot up at the very top of the needle. Very fun.
Sounds fun.
But the bungee jumping looked great. I would totally do that.
You could never
I would 100%
catch
do it.
Delia doing something like that. I do not like heights, bitch.
I was telling your daughter today, I'm like, do that for my 50th birthday.
Really? What about like skydiving? Would you do something like that?
I don't know if I could do skydiving, because that's like...
You could die.
I mean, I could die.
Yeah.
That's scary. But I would totally do bungee jumping, zip lining from a top of a cliff. Like, that'd be so great.
Wow, yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
So the guys seem excited. I think Cody's trying to pretend he's really excited.
Yeah.
I think the producers have coordinated this event.
Totally.
I don't know that Cody was like 100% on board, but like Brett's totally into it. He goes first and he just launches himself off the side of the building, and Cody's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then Sean goes next, and Sean's maybe a little bit nervous, but he launches himself off the building, and Cody's just in the background nervous.
Yep.
He's talking. He doesn't want to not do it because then he won't be a real man.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like what the theme of this entire episode is like how much of a man is Cody.
Yeah.
Not much of a man, as it turns out. Not much of a man. But he finally gets his turn and he forces himself to launch himself off of the stratosphere. Yeah. He screams all the way down, and then they go to dinner and they have a conversation about male leadership, and I'm snoring.
I kind of hated this conversation because the men were kind of coming for like the wives and just telling Cody like, how can you deal with all these women? Am I right? How can you deal with all these women and their thoughts and opinions? It's like
and their lives and like they're existing around you. Are you okay, bro?
Like, how can you lead with all of this estrogen around? It's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, and Brett's like, I'm obviously in a monogamous relationship with my hoe-ass wife, Ava, sorry. And, when it comes down to it, like, I lead. It's my choice. It's my decision. And she knows that. And so I'm in charge. But like, Cody, my guy, are you really in charge though? Because you seem really busy just running from house to house to house with your hair flipping in the wind. And it seems like your women are actually telling you how it's going to be. So it looks like you're a little bit of a cuck. Yeah. It's just what I'm getting. It's what I'm feeling.
That's
Cody,
basically what they're telling you.
You a cuck, man?
You're a beta ass simp. Like, that's what they're saying.
Yes, that's what it was giving.
I was kind of watching this and I'm like, damn, I kind of feel bad for Cody just a little bit in this conversation. Like, it's kind of great to have these men, like these real men telling him, well, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like these macho men compared to Cody telling him, you're a loser.
Right. These women are running you around.
Yeah, you're a beta. And Cody's like, well, I'm an alpha male.
Yeah. Like he just says those words. Like I've never met a manly man who ever said, I'm a manly man. Duh. Like, look at me. I'm all man, honey. Like, no, you just know when you're in the presence of a man who's a man.
Exactly.
And if you are an insecure man who's trying to compete in the world of men, you say something like, I'm an alpha male. I mean, duh. Like, I'm the leader. It's me. Absolutely. Yeah. I lead this family.
I lead it, but very subtly, though.
Yeah, that's what he says. Very subtle leadership.
Like, wow. Okay.
You mean passive leadership? Non-leadership is my type of leadership.
I guess. I kind of wonder if, like, all of these conversations that Cody has had on camera so far, and maybe off camera, he probably has other guys telling him, like, you're kind of a beta.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if this started
maybe his dad.
Well, maybe. And
I think his dad is still alive at this point.
Maybe this started his whole, like, manosphere pipeline, like, path where he started going down, like, the alpha male road, like the Andrew Tates of it all. Yeah,
because when did that emerge in the zeitgeist? Because this is, like, 2014, 2015.
Something like that.
I'm thinking, like, Andrew Tate and QAnon and all of that weird stuff started, like, 2018?
Something like that. But it was
in the ether.
There had to have been like other alpha males back then that we just didn't.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I still don't pay attention.
I don't pay attention to it at all. But I just wonder if this kind of started it, because Cody does seem very insecure here, and like he's trying to prove the fact that he is the leader of his family. And he goes on in his talking head about how he's the leader of his family, and like, yeah, I listen to their concerns and everything, but ultimately I'm the man, and they all know that I'm the man, and they all know that I'm the one that makes the decisions. And it's like, okay.
I don't think so.
And then we go on the couch and we talk about the situation where Janelle refused to move to Utah when they were living in Wyoming.
Right.
And Janelle's the one that brings it up, I think. And she's like, yeah, Cody was trying to tell me that I needed to move to Utah, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, actually, Cody is the one who brings up this story to the guys at dinner as if to demonstrate how much of a leader he was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But, like, the story actually illustrates that he's not a leader, because in the story, he's telling Janelle when they're living in Wyoming, look, I've got this job opportunity in Utah. We've got to go. Let's go. And Janelle's like, absolutely not. I'm comfortable here. If you want to go, get on, go. And so Cody does leave. And then Janelle at some point starts to miss him. And of course, she's got children with him. And so she decides on her own, because she's a Taurus, honey. You can't move a Taurus unless she's ready to go.
Yep.
She decides on her own that she's going to move to where Cody is in Utah. But like the way Cody's describing it is like, yeah, I won that one. I'm like, no, actually, Janelle was the leader in that, because Janelle said no. Janelle did exactly what she wanted to do. And when Janelle was ready, she's like, okay, I missed the D. Yeah. I'm going to move to Utah. And then she does.
Yeah.
So Janelle led.
Yeah. Good job, Cody.
Yeah.
Real leader right
Bro.
there. Alpha male.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. I thought that whole thing was so dumb. And then I think we talk more about like Cody and Brett's relationship, and I just like don't care at all. And then we end the episode with Meri and her random TLC producer friend Andrea going to Joanne Fabrics to pick out fabric for Leon's blanket for college.
Right.
Mary's gonna make them a blanket of purple and gold and whatever. And this is where Meri again talks about how sad she is of being an empty nester.
I did find it interesting, though, that Meri does seem to have a lot of great women friends around her. I think that's a testament to her character overall. And of course, we have never met Andrea, and we know that while Meri's in Vegas, she's going to start making more friends, and then we're going to have even more friends as the seasons go on. But like, Meri can't be all that bad if she's got friends that are showing up for her when Cody won't, when Robin's not there, when the other wives don't care. You've got this person, Andrea, who's going to take her to the fabric store to work on this blanket, and they have the conversation about empty nesters, and she has friends there for her. I just think that says a lot about her.
Yeah, it could.
Maybe.
Mean girls have friends, though, too.
That's true. But I mean, like, I don't think she's a mean girl with these women. I think these women genuinely really like Meri.
Yeah.
That means Meri's likable. I think that furthers our argument that Meri just doesn't show us who she really is on this show.
Right.
Like, and she's been talking in the year of our Lord 2025 about, like, you know, worthying up, and you're going to see me, and when I can talk, I'm going to talk. Because I guess she's felt the need over all of these seasons to continue to hide, continue to lie, continue to project this beautiful family that never was. So I just think that underneath that all, if we had ever seen the real Meri, she would have been a chill, awesome girl, and we would have liked her.
Definitely. And maybe if she was the real Meri with like Christine and Janelle, they probably would have had like a better relationship. And like maybe if they could have actually talked about their issues and stuff and like went to therapy together and actually dug deep into the root of their issues, maybe they could have all been friends. But I digress.
Yeah.
And then we have the preview where we have Aspen and Leon discussing their parents dancing at their graduations.
Yeah, the graduation party and what they want and what they expect. And everybody's super excited about it because they love a party, those Browns.
I mean, hey. And then we have Robin saying she wants to hire a fortune teller.
Right. Well, she does bring in like a tarot card reader, which I'm just like, okay, hold up.
At Leon's graduation party?
At Leon's graduation party. But like there's these rumors, again, in the ethers about Robin being kind of witchy, woo-woo, and having her crystals and everything in her house. And what if she's a witch? And we're all talking about manifesting all of a sudden. I don't think she's a witch, don't get me wrong. I think she's probably a bit new age metaphysical.
Probably.
But it's just curious to me that a bunch of Mormon fundamentalists would have a tarot card reader.
I know.
Like Olivia. Maybe that was her first step too of leaving the religion. She got herself a tarot card reading.
Maybe.
That's just bizarre.
Tarot's the gateway drug.
Maybe so.
It's kind of ridiculous, but the tarot reader says that Cody's going to have a fifth wife, and Cody seems awkward about that. And then we have Meri at Leon's graduation, and she's like freaking the fuck out because she can't see Leon walk down the stage. Right. And she's getting all dramatic.
She's having a tantrum.
Oh my God. And then we have the graduation party for, I think, Leon and Aspen.
Yes. And all the adults are dancing, and it's super cringe.
Yeah.
Making it about themselves.
Of course.
Because anytime Cody can dance for the public, he's going to do it.
And he's going to do it so bad.
Yes, he is. Well, again, you know, this was like kind of a nothing burger episode.
Yeah.
But if you've got your monocles out, and if you're sniffing the air like we do as raccoons, we can smell some homosexuality.
Oh, yeah.
We can see the tension, and things
Sexual
are becoming clear.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on in the cul-de-sac is not good. I just didn't know because I didn't watch these seasons.
Me neither.
I didn't know that it was from the very beginning. I thought like the family started to fall apart like maybe midway through the cul-de-sac journey.
Yeah.
But it was like from the first months that it all began.
From the get-go. Ever since Robin came into the picture, like they were struggling.
Yeah, but they thought that the cul-de-sac was the answer to bringing it all back together. But like it feels like Robin just ramped up her antics and started demanding more of his time
and money.
And again, you have Janelle who doesn't give a crap as long as she's fine and comfortable.
Yep.
You've got Meri who's just stuck in her silence in her lonely, haunted home. And then you get Christine who at this point is just stewing in her jealousy
Yep,
and having to negotiate for time with Cody by giving her garage up for wrestling mats. It's
My
like
God.
actually pretty sad.
It is really crazy. I like feel bad for Christine in this moment because she's like angry and justifiably so. Like she's upset and sad.
Mhm.
But like who does she have to talk to? Nobody.
She just can drop like little bombs on the couch to let everybody else know what's going on.
But that's it.
Oh, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, how many of you have pre-ordered Christine's books?
Oh yeah.
Drop a comment, and or are you looking forward to her book? Do we think that there's going to be something of interest there? Because, there was a rumor that Cody got attorneys involved demanding that Christine axe one of the chapters in her book, because I guess it dealt with $100,000 that went missing out of the family fund. This is the rumor, and I don't know, obviously. And I would hope that Christine wouldn't remove that from the book. So maybe it will be in the book. But there's a rumor he asked her to remove that part of the book because she was outing him for stealing money, allegedly. I don't know. So, I kind of want to order it.
You should.
Well, it's like $26.
Oh.
And it's just guaranteed to be lame. It's guaranteed to not give me what I want. But I feel like it is our professional duty.
We should read it and review it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah,
I'm sure everybody wants us to.
Well, maybe
it.
we can talk about it in like the after show
maybe
or whatever.
We should.
We do like chapter by chapter and like get into it. But I'm just wondering if you guys are interested. Are you looking forward to it? Are you like, I'm not giving these people any more money? How do you feel? Let us know in the comments or on Instagram. You can DM our girl Beatrice. She loves to hear from you.
I do.
Well, now, Beatrice, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we start our after show?
Well, if you love our podcast, please be sure to go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. 5 really helps us grow the pod so more people can join us in the dumpster, and we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Again, we are going to move now to our after show. We're going to be talking about a lot of gossipy items, but we will be back next week to continue our Sister Wives conversation and our recaps. And so until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.